You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
What a beautiful day for horses in the morning.
You are listening to the #1 horse podcast in the world. Here is your entertaining look at the horse world and the people in it.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody. I am Glenn the Geek in Ocala, Florida.
And I'm Jamie Jennings in Norman, Oklahoma. You're listening to Horses in the Morning on the Horse Radio Network for Friday, August 23rd, episode 3504, brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. Good morning, Horse World.
It's Friday, and another weekend of riding is a few short hours away. Jamie and Glenn are here to help you make it through the day with some fun guests and some really bad ads. Enjoy the show.
Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We have our British correspondent with us today. Katie's joining us to talk about the Defender Burghley Horse Trials coming up. God, that looks so pretty. I'm going to go to that one sometime. Piggy March from over there, she is also doing a 1,100-kilometer charity cycle ride. I saw all kinds of news about that. Katie's going to tell us about that. And apparently, she interviewed somebody in her show that rides Russell Crowe's horses. I want to find out more about that, too. Actually, I had a podcasting friend that just met him this week. They were at the same function or something.
Random.
Yeah. Margo Hudson from Tex Sutton Air is going to join us to tell us about the ups and downs of flying horses. Get that? Do you get it?
I see what you did there.
Thanks.
That's funny.
All right, and then some really bad ads. We're going to be doing those, too. So we have talked about Omena, Michigan before. That's a little town in northern Michigan. And the reason we have talked about this little town before, usually around election time, is they have had a variety of mayors over the years, all four-legged. So they're the town that always elects dogs or cats or animals of some sort as mayor. Well, on July the 20th, it was announced who the new mayor is, and the new mayor's name is Lucky. And Lucky is a cross between an American quarter horse and American paint. It's the first equid to be elected mayor of Omena. And until this point, it's only been dogs and apparently a cat once. So Omena will now hold the highest office in the land. But as per usual, there was drama.
Oh, no.
Politics and drama. Who would know that would be a problem? So apparently, Omena wasn't even in attendance, and the drama is that Amena's not even from that town.
Oh my God!
I know.
What? Check the papers.
I know. Kathy Stevenson, who was the manager for Topsy and Turvy, two domestic short-haired cats who ran to be co-mayors, was very upset because she said the horse isn't even from here.
Oh my God!
But apparently, the horse is supposed to be moving there. It is owned by some people who vacation in the town, and they're apparently moving. They're from Cave Creek, Arizona. So Lucky is 16 years old and lives in Cave Creek, 2,000 miles away. But apparently, they're planning on moving there, and they will be bringing the horse there in the fall. So
it sounds to me like the town of Omena was just over having dogs or cats run.
Yes,
and
apparently.
They just wanted a change. Hope and change, Glenn. Hope and change. So they decided to bring in their own mayor. Is there a rule that you have to be born in the city of a town to be the mayor? I don't think so. So listen, Kathy, you can suck it because Lucky is here to stay.
Besides, and then Topsy and Turvy, besides, are domestic short-haired cats, which I apologize to the short-haired cat community, but I find them really creepy.
What?
The ones with no hair? I don't like.
That's okay. I thought your long-haired cat sucked because I would try to sleep at night and I would find coughing up hairballs because it'd be floating through your house.
That was the longest hair in a cat ever, that cat.
Oh, my God.
I just find the short-haired ones creepy. So you can send your hate mail to Jennifer at horseradionetwork.com.
Oh, boy. You just made half the listening audience angry.
Happy birthday, That's what I'm here for. You cover the other half.
That's true.
We have some birthdays. Auditors this weekend: Carrie Miller, Rebecca Hodgetts, Tyler Gilman, Janelle Cameron, and Jill Elbrecht. Happy birthday to all of you. And I also want to give a shout out to the Paralympic Games. Get this. They've already sold 1.75 million tickets for the events. And I was thinking, geez, it's going to be so hard that people won't buy tickets and they won't go out and support the Paralympians. Well, apparently in France they are.
That's awesome.
They've sold 700,000 tickets since the start of the regular Olympic Games. And apparently a lot of the sessions have been sold out, or virtually sold out. So Good for them. Yeah. They'll have a lot of people there cheering them on. I think that's very exciting.
USA, baby.
Yep.
I'm a little not with it, and I'm a little irritated, and I'm a little grumpy.
You were grumpy this morning.
It's not my day. Not my day. I mean, it's just been a week. So, like, all of a sudden, I have this teenage girl in my house who is absolutely delightful. However, what's not delightful is dealing with the Norman public school transportation system, trying to get a freaking bus to pick her up and take her to school. It's like, they were like, we set up a stop and it's 3/4 of a mile away. I'm like, she's not walking on a road with no, anyway, long story short, I'm going to go to the transportation department today and show up in person and be like, let's figure this out, people, because this is ridiculous. I'm driving like 2 hours a day to get Lucas to school and then get her to school and then pick up Lucas and then pick her up. And again, she's so sweet and I love her to death and I wouldn't trade anything except for the fact that I just want a freaking bus to pick her up and take her to school.
Well, and usually parents have time to work into the whole teenage thing. You didn't have time for that. I mean, it just was dumped on you. So you volunteered for it. It wasn't dumped on you. But,
no.
Yeah.
And again, as far as teenagers go, she's the sweetest thing on the planet. Like, she's awesome.
It looks like you're having fun riding. Is she a good little rider?
She's doing great.
Yeah?
She's doing great. We're going to work on some stuff. Like, I'm like, dude, you're going to leave here a different human than when you got here, like, as far as horse stuff goes. So we're really excited. She's going to take me to the clinic. It's great. But this morning, like, Chad's been on trips. He's like gone, and I'm having to take to school, after school, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot. So this morning, I'm like, oh my God, he's coming home this morning, and my kitchen is a complete disaster. So I'm like, okay, you guys, you have breakfast. We need to be in the car in 5 minutes. I've got to clean this kitchen up. And so I start gathering things off the counter, and I have this like vegetable chopper where you put the vegetable and you go whack it down.
You didn't.
I was going too fast. I picked it up and just waffled my finger, but the tip of my thumb is, and I sliced it and there's like blood. And poor Anna and Lucas were like, oh my God. Anna's like, oh, she had to go outside. She's like, and so there's like, I'm bleeding like profusely from my thumb.
It's amazing
trying to clean
what
up
the tip of a finger, how much that bleeds.
Oh my gosh. I'm like, my husband's gonna be how much? I need to quickly clean up, blah, blah. Nope, that had to stop because I'm bleeding. And I'm like, guys, get in the car. And I'm either, how are you gonna stop the blood? Like, all this, I was like, oh my God, I can't do it. So I've got paper towels, my hand wrapped up in paper towels. I'm like, get in the car. So we start driving. I come home. By the way, now I also have a horse that cut its shoulder and I have a drain in it. So I'm having to flush a pussy drain 3 times a day.
Anna's not helping with that one, is she?
She is. I was like, Anna, my finger is bleeding and you're about to pass out. And here I am, like, having you hold the horse while I stick a tube in its shoulder, flushing it out. She was like, it's different. It's different. I was like, I know, to be fair, it is different. But yeah, I'm like, I can't. It's too much. So I'm glad it's Friday.
So tell us what one German word you've learned.
I learned the word Panzer because I let her name the new horse. He looks like a tank, and that's a word for tank. I've learned what's the ambulance? How do we say that? Ambulance. Oh, so we were talking about the difference in like words in American and like words and how aggressive German words are. And like the word ambulance. You know what it is in German? Krankenwagen. Like everything is so aggressive. And it sounds like when she's talking on the phone, I'm like, who are you yelling at? Like
it does sound like that. I sent you a YouTube channel to follow. I didn't even dawn on me that I've been following this girl for like 2 years on her YouTube channel, and she's German, moved to America, and she does tons of videos on the differences in the two countries, and you'll love this now. You'll love that channel. She's very good at it.
Okay, I saw your email.
Yes.
I just, it's from you. I didn't
and
open
Chad
it.
will both love it because some of the things you're learning that she has pointed out are in these videos, so I think you'd probably have fun watching them together, actually, with her.
It's cool. She and Lucas are getting along great. It's just, it couldn't be better. So like, when you and your brothers were heading to the car.
Oh, there was always a fight who sat where.
Exactly. How did you determine who got the front?
Oh, usually the older ones just beat us up.
So I had two brothers and we would have to call shotgun, shotgun. And you go in there. Well, now I've got it doped out. So like, okay, the person in the front seat has to get out and open and close the gate. So now they're like,
nobody wants the front seat.
You take the front. No, you take the front. So now they fight over sitting in the back, which is fantastic because somebody will cave and you have to get the gate. So I'm like, the front seat gets the gate. And so they just okay, you get it on the way there, and then I'll get it on the way home, so we don't have to open the gate twice. It's perfect. It's perfect.
All right, let's hear from Kentucky Performance Products, and then we're going to talk to Margo Hudson from Tex Sutton Air. We've had some of our listeners having to fly their horses for the first time. We haven't talked about this in years, actually, so we thought we'd get somebody on to talk about flying your horse and what's involved with that.
This Nutritional Minute is brought to you by Kentucky Performance Products. One of the most common mistakes seen in feeding programs is the underfeeding of commercial concentrates. Commercial concentrates are textured or pelleted feeds that provide energy, protein, vitamins, and minerals. Some common manufacturers are Triple Crown, Nutrina, Purina. You get the idea. Every commercial feed has a minimum amount you must feed in order to meet a horse's daily vitamin and mineral requirements. For most commercial concentrates, that level is somewhere between 4 to 6 pounds per day. A lot of horses will get too fat consuming feed at that level, so owners and barn managers feed less, and rightly so. It's not healthy for a horse to get too fat. However, if you are feeding less than the recommended minimum amount to your horse, you are not providing your horse with adequate nutrition. Microphase Vitamin and Mineral Supplement from Kentucky Performance Products can solve your problem. Microphase can be added to the diet as needed to fill in the nutritional gaps. Packed with nutrients but low in calories, you can adjust the feeding level of Microphase to meet your horse's requirements. Learn more about Microphase by visiting kppusa.com.
Got questions about your feeding program? We can help. Email Karen at questions@kppusa.com or call us at 859-873-2974.
Hi, Margo. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Hey, guys. Thanks for having me.
So it's so funny how small the horse world is. We just discovered, chatting to Margo before the show, that she used to sell horse trailers years ago, and she sold us our first Florida horse trailer. So it's a small world, Margo. It really is.
It is a small world, yeah.
So, Margo, you work for Tex Sutton Air. Tell us a little bit about Tex Sutton.
I do. So Tex Sutton, we are a domestic flight company. We fly all over the continental U.S. We have a lot of different types of customers that we are fortunate enough to fly, whether that be show horses, pleasure horses, hunter jumpers, you name it. We've probably flown it. And yeah, we're fortunate enough to have a lot of different types of athletes on board with us.
Well, we've had some listeners recently that have had to fly horses for the first time. Like, you buy a horse at an auction, and it's in California, and you're in Pennsylvania, and you have to get the horse there. And it seems kind of daunting, doing your first flight, getting your first horse on a flight. Can you kind of go through what has to happen to make that happen?
Yeah, definitely. So when we have customers call us, whether they're new to flying or just have questions or anything like that, I mean, the process kind of starts at like where you want to go from and to. So we do fly out of various airports, and we try and make it as, a quick of a process as we can from airport to your farm to airport to airport, and then on to the destination. So if you were to call to book a horse with us, we would just ask simple questions. I mean, have they ever flown before? You kind of give us the information, your horse's size, so that we can, see whether they would need a single stall, meaning, he would fly with two other horses with him, or a stall and a half where he would have, some more room, depending on his size, or whether he's a nervous shipper or him or her. And yeah, we kind of go through some things. We help, set up vanning from farm to airport if the customer needs help with that. There's a lot of things that go into it, but usually, we're here to answer everyone's questions and make it as smooth as we can, and as less stress on the horses as we possibly can.
So do you treat the horses differently? You ask the question, have they flown before? So if I say this horse has not flown before, do you do something different than the horses who have flown before?
No, I mean, each horse, we try and take our time with them, but if we have some sort of heads up, my horse isn't the best loader, we can take our time with it, or we can set the ramps up differently. I mean, the more information that we have on your horse, or if he's kind of quirky, maybe needs some earplugs for flight or things like that. Like I said, the more information that we have about your horse and previous travel, or how he is on the van, if he's never gotten on an airplane before, it just gives our grooms, our guys that are employed by us, it gives them, a little more knowledge on the horse, so that we can kind of, take more time with them, or, someone can be standing with him, while we're getting ready to load, and, things like that.
So what paperwork is needed? The usual health certificate and all that stuff?
Yeah, the usual health, current Coggins and a health certificate within 30 days.
Gotcha. So can they fly with their horse? Can the owners fly with their horse? Does anybody fly with the horses?
Owners and customers, unfortunately, right now are not able, unless they're approved by FedEx to fly. Which a lot of bigger grooms that are traveling all over with these horses constantly, that are from the farm, the riders, grooms, things like that. It's a long process, but I'm not saying that they can't get certified to fly with their horses. But we do provide our own grooms. Majority of our grooms are the same guys that were off of our aircraft when we were flying that. But we are fortunate enough to get to use other grooms as well that are very experienced and that have helped us out in the past. But majority of the flights that we have are all of our guys that are employed by Tex Sutton.
So you mentioned FedEx, and we all joked about FedEx flying horses because nobody actually thought that was a thing. We just thought it was a meme, right? But it does happen.
Yeah, a lot of different carriers are using FedEx right now to keep us going, and yeah, it's coming handy for all of us.
Are they in there with the packages, with the Amazon packages and the?
So they're actually, on different flights. I mean, sometimes there are other things on, but, these horses are loaded into containers, from trailer into the container. And then the container is actually what is loaded into the aircraft.
Gotcha.
That's what I was wondering too. So you've got the horse trailer, then you've got a container, and then the container is lifted up into the plane. Okay. So yes. Are you on the tarmac unloading the horse out of the trailer into the container, or does that take place somewhere else and then you got to haul the container? How does that paint that picture for me?
So a lot of, each airport's set up differently. I'm very familiar with the airports that I use here since I am based out of Florida. So each airport has a different staging area, where we bring the vans in, and load them. We're not here in Florida. We're not exactly on the tarmac. We're in a quieter area. And we have a lot of the airports have transfer pins, which is nice. It's just a high side ramp that we were able to, drop your ramp on your horse trailer, or the customers, or, the company that we're using, drop their ramp, and then we're able to drop, back the container all the way into that ramp. And so that the horses have like the higher sides, it's, safer for them to walk from trailer into the container.
Okay. So it's like not like you're leading your horse down the runway going, where is the container?
No.
The airplane's buzzing by.
No, yeah, no, man. We try and make it as quiet and safe as possible. And, like I said, we're lucky enough to have some really talented horsemen that fly with these horses to try and make this as easy as we can.
Okay. Say I buy a horse in California and I need to fly it to Florida. Understanding that, if I am trying to fly my own ticket, it can be hundreds of dollars different depending on the time, the date, the season, the airline, and all that. Can you give me a ballpark, not holding you to this quote, ballpark figure of what it would cost to fly a horse across the country?
So ballpark, California to Florida, California to the East Coast this is just a ballpark quote, would be around like $5,000 for the flight.
Oh my gosh, that's so much. It's cost you $4,000 to ship a horse, and it takes days and days to get there. That's way better. Oh my God, I'm going to totally become a Tex Sutton customer now. Hold on.
So can a couple other questions that I'm just curious about. Can I assume the cabin's pressurized, just like for people? Would have to be? Yes.
Yeah. Cabin's,
Yep.
Pressurized.
Okay.
It's, it stays pretty chilly in the cabin, just so that the horses are comfortable throughout flight. And it's basically it's a lot similar to the aircraft you and I fly in, but it's just a huge cargo plane.
I seriously thought it was like $10,000 to ship across the country. That is so, like, to pay an extra couple grand and then your horse is there in 2 hours versus 7 to 10 days. Wow, that is cool.
And do mares and foals fly? Are foals allowed to fly?
Good question.
Yeah, we have the ability to fly mares with foals. It doesn't happen that often, but sometimes we do have, ones that need to go, Kentucky to California. We're able to configure the container so that both mare and foal are in there together safely. Yes.
Okay.
It sounds like a very, very big racehorse kind of moving transportation there. You know what I mean? Like, this sounds like Kentucky, California, Ocala. Like, it's like a little triangle of racehorse moving.
Yeah. Kentucky, Florida, and New York are, main points for us, to California. We do have a lot of thoroughbred customers, racehorses, but we do, we also definitely have a big show horse crowd as well. Yeah. They stay in places longer, which is nice. The racehorses kind of go in. We kind of target them on a date that's good, where they have time to settle into the tracks before they run a big race. And then we ship them back. And then, as you all know, with the show horses, they're there for a longer period of time. It's not so much of a race and return, basically, for us. It's, we're going to be on the East Coast, or we're going to be on the West Coast for a few weeks. We definitely have different people that do it, but yes, a lot of racehorses.
So basically, flying into Wellington in November gets busy.
Yes. Yes, but everyone's making their move here. November, February, the winter months are a big busy time for us, bringing everyone, getting them back settled down into Wellington, the ones that do come to Ocala. Yes.
All right. It's TexSutton.com is the website. Thank you, Margo, for joining us and filling us in on how to do the air thing with your horse.
Thank you so much, guys.
As horse owners, we have an unlimited supply of love for our animals, but we tend to underestimate the cost of their vet care. Routine and unexpected expenses can quickly add up, making it hard to keep pace. Wouldn't it feel great to always be prepared with a budget-friendly way to manage these costs? Well, the Care Credit Health and Animal Care Credit Card can give you that financial peace of mind. With flexible financing from Care Credit, you get to carry your horse needs as well as the pets in all the pets in your family, and then you can pay over time in easy monthly payments. You can use Care Credit at 25,000 veterinary hospitals or more that accept the card. You can also use it to pay for everything from diagnostics and surgery to wellness exams and routine care. Care Credit, it's your card for a lifetime of care. Subject to credit approval. To learn more, visit carecredit.com/horses.
Well, we have Katie Gilmour here, who's our British correspondent and host of Poles, Piaffe, and Prosecco, the podcast, and we're going to talk a little bit more about that later on. Thanks for joining us, Katie.
Oh, thank you for having me.
A little happier time or note than we had you on the last time.
Absolutely. So much has happened since then. We've been through an Olympics. It's crazy, isn't it? Time flies.
Got a Paralympics coming up, and the United States and British teams are always big competitors in the Paralympics for paradressage. So,
absolutely,
looking forward to that. But I wanted to talk to you about the first story that you sent to me, and I've totally lost it. Okay, here it is. Burghley is coming up, which is one of the shows that, God, I want to get to. It looks so beautiful.
It is. It's stunning, Burghley, actually. It's in a really beautiful venue. Yes, so that's coming up soon. It's the 5th to the 8th of September. And actually, it's had some amazing entries, which is great because obviously we've lost quite a few events over the last couple of years. So the fact that Burghley is thriving is really good news for anyone that's a fan of horse sport. Actually, you can go and camp for the weekend, and so you can see all the stages, and then the campsite itself is also really good fun. It's a nice event. It's one of my favourites, actually, Burghley. So on the list at the moment, we've got Ros Cantor and Tom McEwen, who, of course, were on the gold medal winning team at Paris. Did I mention the gold medal at Paris?
Bragger. I'm sorry, you're breaking up. I can't hear you. We're losing you. Gonna have to go now.
You'll be able to see actually some of the Paris horses because Ros Cantor is taking Lordship's Gruffalo with her, which is extremely exciting for anyone that wanted to see him. Zara Tindall is entered as well with Class Affair, so anyone that wants to see a bit of royalty or semi-royalty will be there as well. So yes, it's a really exciting lineup. There's 8 CCI 5-star winning combinations, 2 former world champions. We've got 4 past Burghley winners, 11 Paris Olympians, and 25 Burghley first-timers. So all in all, very, very exciting. There's 7 entries from the USA, actually.
I think that would be the one place I would go camping, Glenn.
Yeah,
to be fair.
Jamie doesn't camp, but I think she would camp there.
I would camp there. Who from the U.S. is entered? Do you have that off the top of your head?
Oh, off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest.
It's okay. I can look it up too. I'm being lazy too.
Yeah. I mean, on the camping at these events, Badminton also do camping. They actually have a glamping section where it's all set up with bell tents and hot tubs and, bars and there's evening entertainment. I mean, come on. It's not real camping, is it?
Yeah,
that's my
fun,
kind of camping. I'm in.
Yeah, to be fair, mine too.
So, and you're in. So that's September 5th through the 8th, and your weather is cooling off by then, isn't it?
Actually, we tend to get an Indian summer in September. It tends to be that the children go back to school after their long summer holiday, and suddenly you have glorious weather. It pretty much rains up until then. But yeah, generally September's quite good here. It's fairly cool in the evenings, but during the day you can expect 23, 24 degrees.
And is this one of those events like ours over here, you get 50,000 people on cross-country day?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's always very busy. It's very busy. But I have to say the cross-country courses, it's the same as badminton. Cross-country courses are vast and it accommodates them. There's never a point where you're at a fence and you can't see or you're not at the front. And then throughout at various fences, there's seating if you want to sit. But most people kind of stay and watch 2 or 3 fences and then walk on to the next ones. And there's refreshment stands and loos and everything all the way around.
And shopping good?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Shopping is always
I mean,
good.
basically,
It's always
as
good.
an
We do get
American. Sorry, go ahead. I said, as an American, there's two, there's Rolex here, Defender Kentucky, whatever here. And then there's just the badminton and Burghley are the two, like, I think places that if you are a fan of going to events like this, those are the two that you need to see. They're just ginormous. I knew a guy who did his first Burghley when he was in his early 20s, and he wasn't a famous rider or anything like that, but his horse got flown from the U.S. to the airport. And I remember he said they unloaded the box off the truck, and everybody was like, what are you doing? He's like, oh, I'm going to Burghley. They were like, no way. Like, even the airport workers knew what Burghley was. Like, that's what a big deal it is in this part of the world.
It is. It's a great show, and the shopping is brilliant. One other event that is fantastic, and if ever you're over in London at Christmas, is the London International. Is a phenomenal show, and you've got 5 or 6 days of amazing sport, from showing to show jumping to dressage. You have the displays with the mounted police jumping through rings of fire. They usually have a display from another country, and the shopping there, believe me, is incredible. They have a massive exhibition hall that is turned into a big shopping village, and you can get everything from tack to Swarovski crystals to art for your house. It's great. And all the food and all the wine is sponsored by Tattinger Champagne. So there's good drinks too.
Anything sponsored by champagne, that'll be good.
Absolutely.
Speaking of eventers, Piggy March is an eventer in England, and I saw this article about her doing an 1,100-kilometer charity bicycle ride, and the title was, I was lost in grieving, I needed a challenge. Talk to us about that.
Yes, so the Cycle for Caroline race. Caroline March was Piggy March's sister-in-law. She died earlier this year. It was a decision that she made herself. She suffered spinal injuries in a cross-country fall in 2022, and there were ramifications from that. They were life-changing injuries, and one of the things that she was really passionate about was the charities that supported her. So there was the British Eventing Support Trust, which is set up to support competing members of the British eventing community that are affected by a physical injury or a mental health challenge, and also Spinal Research. They are a charity here. They're established in 1981. Scientific research needed to repair and restore the spinal cord after catastrophic injury. And both of those charities were very supportive to Caroline. So Piggy has set this up as a charity fundraising cycle ride in memory of Caroline March. So, a sad story, but there's a positive outcome from that.
And their fundraising target is £500,000. That's not a small amount, is it?
It's really not a small amount, but it's been very, very well planned. There's quite a few riders that are taking part. Ian Stark, who is an eventing legend over here, he won gold at the Olympics. He's been a world and European champion. He's going to be cycling. Alistair Wilson, who is the joint patron of the British Eventing Support Trust, with his wife Nicola. So Nicola herself also had a spinal cord injury at a fall in badminton in 2022. I was actually there when that happened, and they stopped the course, and it's a bit chilling to kind of to hear how involved she is with the charity as well. Now, amazing woman, does look like she'll make a good recovery, but obviously it all takes time. And they have special guests booked. They haven't said who the special guests are, but there's going to be special guests that join them on different legs of the ride, which I hope will garner lots of media support, and that people will go and donate for this, because actually, as riders, they're very important charities. We ride in a sport where, unfortunately, spinal injury is a possibility. So it's an important event to support.
I love that they're incorporating venting into this ride, too. They start at Blair Castle. They go through Ian Stark Equestrian. They end up in Chatsworth, and then Burghley and Blenheim and Badminton and Windsor. So, I mean, they really are incorporating the eventing world into the ride.
They are. It's really, really well thought out. So they start at Blair Castle on the 20th of November, and then they actually finish at the Savoy Hotel in London, which is for the British Eventing Support Trust Ball, which is on the 30th of November. So I'm very much hoping they have a chance to get changed. And
I was going to say they ride their bikes into the ball.
Before going to the ball. That would be cool.
I love that.
But I'm very much hoping they get a chance to glam up before they go in there. But what a great ending to it as well, to end it at the ball. It's very well thought out, and I think, fair play to them for doing it. They'll certainly be very fit afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's 1,100 kilometres over 11 days.
I love that. I love that idea too. Good for her.
Yeah.
Talking
absolutely.
about taking grief and doing something good with it. That good for her and good for all of them that are participating. One more story. You have a podcast called Poles, Piaf, and Prosecco, and I saw one of your recent episodes was Janet Devlin, and one of the things that caught my eye is she's an X Factor alumni, was on X Factor and all of that. But then
That's
also,
right, yes.
I saw in there that she was riding Russell Crowe's horses. Tell us about that.
That's right. So Janet has been Russell's support act at several of his concerts. She's a very talented girl. She was on X Factor some time ago. She came 5th. She was only 16 as well when she competed. And we were just chatting with her on the podcast, and she told us all about her relationship with Russell Crowe. He has a band called the Gentleman Barbers, and they've become friends after Devlin supported him on tour. Interestingly, it was Ed Sheeran that somehow introduced the two. But he's a horse lover. She went out to his ranch, and one of the horses he'd had for years, he'd used in numerous movies. And she was out last January, and she was told, he'll try and get you out on quad bikes because he's got the most beautiful farm. And then someone mentioned something about horses, and she's very horsey, and her ears pricked up. And he let her take his horses out into the bush. He doesn't ride them so much now. He has quarter horses. So she said that she tried to convince him to get a Belgian draft. And he kind of said, I don't know what a Belgian draft is. And she showed him a photo. And apparently she's been working on his stable manager to convince him to get a Belgian draft. And she's also offered to him that when he comes over to London, that she could take him out for a hack because she's riding heavy horses at the moment. And said there's plenty of shies to go round if his whole crew want to go too. So quite an experience for a girl from Ireland who ended up on TV and now sings with arguably one of the biggest actors in the world.
What a story! So he doesn't ride. He just has them as pets.
He can ride, and he has ridden, but obviously he's quite a big guy, and quarter horses are quite small. So I think it's more about that, and that's why she was trying to convince him to get a Belgian draft.
This is how we know he can ride, obviously, because I've seen Gladiator, and with him on that white horse spinning that thing around, with the spear in his hand, come on.
I got to tell you, though, he has no excuse now. He was in the United States here last week, and one of my podcast friends saw him and gave him a gift of some cowboy boots. So, and apparently he tried them on right away and wore them. He loved them. So he has no excuse now.
Absolutely not. He needs to be on that horse.
I love this. Well, and people can find your podcast, Poles, Piaf, and Prosecco, at any podcast player. Just search for that and you'll find it. And I'll put links to all the articles that we talked about today. Katie, thanks again for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me. It's good to catch up.
Well, there we go. Now we have the latest from England. What's going on over there? She always gets us informed. I love the Russell Crowe story. It's just...
I don't know if you've seen him recently. He is a big dude now.
Yeah, I did. I saw the pictures of him last week with my friend, and I didn't recognize him at first.
Yeah, you would not want him on a little quarter horse. Although these dudes that do reining and stuff do worse. So
well, that's true. And his beard is so big. He's this huge fluffy beard like he's out of the
Santa Claus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right. What was interesting, speaking of beards, as a side note, I may have to shave mine off to get my surgery in October, which would be the first time in 30 years.
Oh my God.
I don't even know what I look like. Jennifer's going to divorce me. So
have you seen, I'm going to forward you the video. It's this really hot guy working out, and he's got long hair like Thor and this big beard, and he's just this lumberjack looking dude, right? And then the next thing he walks in after shaving his beard, he's like, I convinced my husband to shave off his beard. It was a bad idea. He comes in, he looks 12 years old. But with the long hair and the big muscles, but like it's tiny little gaunt face. Like it'll look like a baby.
I shaved it off to shock Jennifer about, I don't know, 25 years ago. And I looked 30 years younger. I was so weird.
Yeah.
And she didn't like it at all.
Yeah. No, you look like a kid.
I say pay attention.
If you ain't met one by now, you're bound to sooner or later. He says one thing and he means another, but hey, he can't help it. He's a horse trader. Horse trading. Well, it's a laissez-faire. Let the buyer beware. Horse trading. They tell a low-down lie with a sincere stare. Horse trading. Well, if they're talking in circles and the deal ain't square, he's a master in the fine art of persuading. Horse trading.
And it's right. It's time for Really Bad Ads, that time of the week when we read ads sent to us by listeners from Facebook or Craigslist or someplace like that and have a little bit of fun with them. We give away prizes every month, and anybody that submits an ad in any shape or form, whether we read it or not, is entered for the prizes, and we do a drawing. This month, the prizes are brought to you by HorseLovers.com, home to 120,000 different horse products for you, your horse, your barn, for everything involving your love of horses. You can find them at HorseLoversWithAZ.com. And this month, we have a Farnham prize pack, which includes the Farnham cough-free pellets, Quiet-Tech show paste, Elite electrolyte paste, Slick and Easy horse grooming blocks, which are really cool, Endure roll-on for horses. You get that whole pack. We're going to have one winner. It's a $75 value. So get your ads in to Jennifer at horseradionetwork.com. Jamie, I'm warning you to get your Southern accent ready because
oh, Lord,
you have a bunch of them today. Now, one thing Jennifer said is sending her a link to Facebook ads doesn't work because they're usually private groups she's not a member of, and she doesn't want to join every private group out there. So send a screenshot. Would be better, whether you're doing Craigslist or Facebook, just send a screenshot. It's usually better. We won't have time to get to Tracy, Jade's, Amy's, or Michelle's this time.
Well, the first one comes from Savannah, and this is the Arkansas Ponies and Horses, Arkansas. Did I tell you why I call it Arkansas? I was in the airport in Dallas, and we were listening to the announcer, and they were like, flights boarding now for Arkansas. And I was like, what did they say? At the airport. Okay. Arkansas Ponies and Horses. And, oh, Lord, have mercy. Look, now the theme for today is no punctuation. And
is that the theme every week?
Or country. I don't know. I don't really know Arkansas, but I'm just going to go with some with close to Oklahoma. Looking for something broke. Older the better. Grandma can ride it. Not gonna give a fortune for one that watched the pyramids get put up.
That's a first.
Let me start that over. Looking for something broke. Older the better. Grandma can ride it. Not gonna give a fortune for one that watched the pyramids get put up. Prefer quarter horse mules, fine too.
Okay, there's a big difference. I prefer quarter horses, but I'll take a mule.
I prefer quarters, but mules are fine. Yeah. They're fine.
No
totally
difference there. Joe Lynn sent this one in. I'm selling my horse Meso. She is 8 and is loving mare. She hasn't been ridden since last October. She would make a good tail horse. That's right. She has a good tail, apparently. I don't know. She would make a good tail horse. She isn't what I'm looking for at this time. By the way, the punctuation is all space, period, space. Yeah. That's been a trend lately. It seems like maybe they're teaching that in school today. She don't like being alone, tired up. She doesn't like being tired up. If you let lead rope on the ground, she's fine. But other than that, she's good, but snorting. I'm asking 3-hand crying face for her. Location is Bull, Idaho. So let's get this right. Okay, she hasn't been ridden since last October. She's a good tail horse, whatever that means. And she doesn't like being tied up, but you left the lead rope on the ground, she's fine. So you can just let her loose, she's fine, but don't tie her up. And she's good at snorting. She's good at snorting, is apparently what I got out of that.
What a mess. What a mess. Andrew sent this one in. This is West Virginia horses, y'all. I got to join all these pages. So fun.
Oh, wow. Do you see the lady's, we're not going to say it, but you see the lady's last name? It definitely has a reference to a movie.
Yeah. Are any of these horses for sale? I'm looking for one for my daughter. She's 11 years old and she knows how to ride. She just learned how to ride this year. We was wondering if these horses was for sale for a cheap price through $1 to $100. We were wondering.
Oh my God. Yeah, good luck with that.
I was just wondering, my daughter done ride a horse one time. You know, we just looking for a horse, but you know, we ain't gonna pay more than $1 and ain't worth nothing.
Allison sent this one in, and she wrote, "When AI writes a really bad ad." Oh, I can't wait. Let's see if this is an AI ad.
I read this one a minute ago, and I was like, what kind of shenanigans is this? And AI makes complete sense. Okay.
This is Pacific Northwest Horses and Tech. Tucson is an eye-catching leopard Appaloosa horse with a commanding presence at 16 plus hands tall. He necessitates an experience. Okay, it's got to be AI, because in 14 years of reading these ads, we've never seen the word necessitates. He necessitates an experienced rider who can provide consistent dedication to his training. While he currently stands alone, he has previously thrived in a herd environment. His expertise lies in Western trail riding, and he exhibits a cooperative demeanor during loading. His gait is characterized by a unique smoothness, making him an ideal choice for those seeking a refined riding experience. This is the exact opposite of every ad we've ever written. Price negotiable, contact for details. I will say that for once in 14 years, the punctuation was correct. The words weren't spelled wrong.
It was just ridiculous, though. Like, I mean, if you're going to have AI write you an ad, be like, AI, can you kind of half write me an ad? Like, this is ridiculous.
Can you dumb it down?
Dumb it down a little bit. While he currently stands alone, he has previously thrived in a herd environment. So basically, he's in a paddock by himself. And he's fine with, like, by himself or other horses, or, like, I don't know. His gait is characterized by a unique smoothness. Oh, God.
But all of us want refined riding experiences, don't we? I mean, when you really think about it.
I mean, you know what? I sure do. I'm really hoping that I can find one with a cooperative demeanor during loading. That's what I'm going for. Like, I'm horse shopping right now. That's what I'm all about. Julia sent this one in.
When you call the next person on the phone, ask him that. Does he have a cooperative demeanor during loading?
Hi, I'm calling about your cooperative loading demeanor horse with a refined riding experience to provide. You're going to talk to AI. I talk AI to them too. All right. Julia sent this one in, and it looks like a Craigslist ad, and it starts out yelling at you. Read entire post. I have no idea what year it was built. I bought it 2 years ago and paid $1,800 for it.
No.
I've been all over Arkansas with it hauled cows, 12 sheep at one time, goats, etc. I no longer need it due to not having animals. $400 or best offer, but you have to haul off the junk inside. It's why I'm selling so cheap. Sturdy with a shield on the inside, located in Melbourne. I don't know sizes or weight, etc. My Jeep hauled it with a cow inside without issues. Holy balls, who would ever put an animal in this thing? And what idiot would pay $1,800? So it's a terrible, really bad ad trailer that, like,
it looks homemade. It looks
Yeah.
homemade, actually. It does
It's
look
a
homemade.
metal box with, like, wood paneling. There's no way they put 12 sheep in here. No way. I'm shenanigans.
I love the front window. There was no window. They cut it out. They just it's not even straight. They cut out this hole to make a window and
square.
Didn't put anything in it. But the back is completely, I don't know how it'll hold a cow with all that crap in it. It's filled to the roof with stuff. It's just filled. And did you see the bottom picture? Look to the right of the tire in the bottom picture.
Oh my God, the dog is peeing on the tire. There's a pug lifting his leg on the tire.
There's timing.
Why would you? Oh my God.
I knew you didn't see it.
I totally did not see that. I saw him sniffing the tire in the first picture and then going for it on the second.
Why
well
would
done.
you post that one?
I don't know. Oh, Faye sent the next one in. Y'all, come on now. This is another Facebook page called North Alabama Horses. What babies are out there? No ponies. Not looking for flashy pricing, y'all. This ain't that economy.
There is a theme today with pricing, too.
Oh, God. This ain't that economy, y'all. I'm going to use that every day. I'm sorry. This ain't that economy. No.
Allison sent this one in. Free mini. Not sure on age. Hard to catch. Isn't broke. Not halter broke. Feet are good. Not up to date on anything because she's hard to catch, and not tamed. Mare, super cute.
The picture, it's a picture of her butt as she's running away.
Now, I don't know how you're going to catch it to put it in a trailer to do anything with it, but that's why she's free.
She's free.
You know what?
Just rope her, man.
You know what? The Alabama lady, you know what? There you go. It's perfect.
Oh, she don't want no ponies, Glenn.
Oh, well, how about the one that wanted a horse for $1? That might work.
You know what? We're matchmaking today, Glenn. We are solving the world's problems.
We are.
Okay.
That mini looks like it would kick your face in, too. It just has a look.
Oh, you can barely see its look because it's showing you its butt as it's running away. Maggie sent the next one in, and what is this website? It's like Equine Now or something. Maggie sent this ad in, but the ad's title is Nikki, Nicki, $1,400. Oh, it's like a car dealership ad, but so they've got $100 monthly lease, $150 a year lease. And this is in Carroll, Iowa. Gender, mare. Age, 6. Height, 22.1.
Oh my God, that's a biggie. Nikki's huge.
22.1 hands. Color, black. Paint. She is so nice. She is so sweet and loves pets and treats. She is very well behaved, just does not like getting kicked hard.
Well, who does?
Hates wipes. What?
Who likes
disciplines that it's perfect for a saddle seat or roping.
By the way, that's almost 8 feet tall.
Oh my God.
Thought I'd let you know.
I didn't even know. And it's only $1,400. You could have the Guinness Book of World Record holding height horse for the bargain price of $1,400.
Paint mare. But I didn't know paints came that big.
She don't like getting kicked hard though, Glenn. So don't kick her hard.
Don't kick her hard.
Just a little bit.
You know what? This picture, which looks like it's an AI picture, actually, for the source, does make it look like it's 22 hands.
This is a hot mess.
This has to be a fake ad. This has to be not a real. Nate and Katie sent this one in.
How do you say that word?
Queen?
There's no U.
Keen? We'll go. It's Queene. A lot of E's.
Oh,
Keen
God.
is a mare. She is 20. We don't do much with her. We rescued her last year, and we have been working on gaining weight. She needs a tune-up, that's all. In good health. She as Peppers, and she's a Tennessee walking horse lovely girl. Jennifer!
Oh, my God. Jennifer! But the picture. Why would you post that picture? So it's a picture of her, itching her top lip on a metal piece of wire, and it's just a terrible picture.
A terrible picture. I mean, she might be cute otherwise, actually, Keen. I'm sure her name's
We
Queen.
will
It had
never
to be.
know.
I'm sure it has to be Queen. But basically, I love when they say, we don't do much with her as we rescued her last year, but she'll make a lovely horse for you.
Yeah, we don't do. She didn't do jack for us, but we're pretty sure she's the one for you.
Yeah.
And she as peepers. She as peepers. So
Peepers.
that's you got that.
Yep.
You got the goat for you. All right, last one. Linda sent this one in. I don't know where this one came from either. Condition not applicable. Description has all those little like fill in the blanks, but none of them are filled in, except for this. Looking to trade a poodle puppy or puppies for a horse. I also have a full AKC adult poodle I could trade too. Would love a horse that's great on trails, as that would be what I would use it for. The horse would get lots of care and attention. Let me know if interested. Now, the horse will get lots of care and attention unless she decides that she wants to go back into dog breeding, and will trade it for a poodle later on.
I will say, though, the poodle's probably worth more than the horse right now. So.
I don't know. Like, I've been looking for a poodle. I'm wanting to trade my really gentle, safe trail horse for that. Like, what a deal.
I think poodles are going for like $3,500, $4,000 right now. So,
did you see the ad where somebody was trying to trade their horse for? They wanted a plane.
Yes, I did. A tail dragger. Was that Chad? Was he trying to get rid of your horses?
Probably, yeah. I think it was in Florida, so it might have been your wife.
Just make sure he doesn't see that ad, okay?
Oh, no, I showed it to him, and he was like, yeah, I'm sure lots of people wanted to trade their airplanes for horses.
Anyway, if you need a poodle, there you go. Trade your perfectly good trail horse for one, or two, or three, or apparently they just want to get out of puppies altogether.
Get out of puppies altogether. I think Jennifer needs Queenie.
Well, she has peppers, and she's a Tennessee walking horse lovely girl.
I mean, perfect.
Yeah.
Go get her. I'm going to go get that 22-hander myself. Yeah.
This picture just makes her look like she has an enormous head. It's just like... Wait, people, don't they look at the pictures they post? Or do they think they're cute?
I don't think anybody looked at the picture of their dog peeing on the trailer tires. So why would you? Nobody checks their spelling. Nobody checks or proofreads their ad. No, it's a big mess.
Well, maybe they should all be written by AI. Maybe we'd be better off. It's like...
It was too good, though.
It really was good.
All right, y'all. Have a great weekend. No post show. I'm tired, and
you got to go fight with the school.
I probably got to go pick up a kid from school. So
you got to go fight with the bus department at school.
Yes, Norman Public School Transportation. I have the number memorized. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
I imagine that's going to be a cultural experience.
It's real fun. It's real fun.
All right, have a great weekend, everybody. See ya.
Okay, bye. Spay, neuter, gelds.